Hello. Hello there. Hello. Hello there. Fucking hell, that was a major lag. Oh, mate. I love it. Well, we have our iconic hat back on for today. We haven't worn it in a couple weeks. Just for the basis, I've enjoyed playing without it. I think, obviously, not in any way, because, you know, you people watch this and they'll think, oh, well, yes, you are one. But I think until you're actually put in that situation, I'm very self-conscious of the way, obviously, I look. And doesn't make me a pussy in any way, it just makes me feel, because of, I do have an anxiety thing. But, like I said, it doesn't mean I'm a pussy. And a lot of people that are strong, just like me and you, have problems of their own. People have ADHD, people have schizophrenia, etc. We all have something, some sort of issue, even if we don't have a mental health issue. We do have something going on in our lives. But I think over the time I've kind of just, I took the hat off, because at first I was fucking boiling my fucking arse off. And then obviously over the time I've tended to just not give a shit as much as I used to about my appearance and shit. But I don't want to go too much into it. The reason I'm wearing a hat today is because we haven't worn one in a while and my fringe is a bit off. Well, it's been off in the last couple of streams, if I'm honest. But obviously if I get hot during the stream, then I will be taking it off with it. But anyway, enough about me. Obviously we're going to get back into the game. Didn't want any kind of noise in the background then to kind of go over what I was saying. But yeah, we have our iconic Compton hat back on. So we're going to chill out with that one. We are heading to a construction site now to transmit two phones together, and we're trying to trick whoever is trying to get to Kitakata. If you want to know more information, then like I said, go and check out my last videos, guys, or my last streams. Right, so we're heading up here. I was separating all my videos since the last, well, since yesterday. I was separating them all 2-hour segments each, mainly. Unless they had like an hour left, then obviously I would be doing the segments like that. But I think we're on actually, oh, we can't go down that way. I think we're actually on. Hi there. I think we're actually on like our 16th part now. I've still got like 2 7-hour streams to pull apart as well, and do 2-hour segments on each one. So, like I said, we might even be over 20 parts to this gameplay. Might be like 30 parts. But I'm enjoying it. It is definitely worth it, guys, if you are interested in games like this, where you've got like a free roam map. You could do side missions and main missions. The new Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man's always been that kind of game too, where you can go around and do side missions and main missions and things like that. But I'm hyped for Spider-Man 2. I will be getting that sooner than later. When it comes out, probably won't be straight away, but it'll be near enough. Oh, nice move. So we get a big dude for the first battle. Played to him. It's a nice counter. Ooh, nearly finished with the Dynamis. Nice one. As I said as well, guys, we, as I said, what was I gonna say? I actually can't remember. I'm hyped about the new Spider-Man game. So yeah, can't wait to play that. I've had a complete brain fog moment where I've forgotten completely what I was gonna say. If it comes back to me then... Oh yeah, what I was going to say before we get into this next battle. I appreciate that obviously the new combos and obviously the moves, in terms of the moves, that the more skill points you earn and the more skill points you put on these skills, you'll be able to try different skill moves, and I might just be pressing the same buttons what I'm comfortable with. But what I would want to know and what I would want to see, don't know why that is going all pixelated there. Interesting. What I would want to know is... I'm confused why my hair is going pixelated, but I'm apparently turning electric. What I would like to know is, when we have these little mini battles, yes, they're increasing in numbers, and I understand that if I was to play a higher difficulty, it would be a lot harder to play, so I do understand that point. But they all seem to be all the same kind of, apart from when you've got that one guy walking on his own with like the big, you know, the big gold guy that usually goes around on his own, and he'll have his own kind of technique, and then you've got the main boss battles in the game, which the big bosses, the clans, all fucking awesome. I like that Soma's like another Joker, so I like that part of it. But when you have these little, would you call them like arcade or street thug battles, they all seem to kind of have the same kind of technique. They did bring in guns just before I ended my stream, so maybe it just might be getting to that point where they're now interchanging there, and they're bringing weapons and baseball bats, but they all seem to be the same repetitiveness, would you like to say. So that is my only fault with this game. I'd say this is my only fault with this game so far, to be honest. There's so many positives. The story mode, well, it is a big massive story mode game, but the storyline to each bit and the side missions, everything is complete with this game in my opinion, apart from these little battles. And I also, another thing I would just say, I forgot, you have to kind of get into the mode for like that 3 seconds when they realise that you're Yagami, and you realise that they're like arcade or street thugs, when you can't just get into the battle and fight them straight away without having that like 2-3 segment section where it doesn't happen straight away.
Really, guys?
But like I said, don't get me wrong, that's like one thing out of 20 things that are really good about this game. One thing bad, 20 things good.
I wish you happy.
You're holding a taser, you little bitch. See, things like that though, that's what I mean. Holding guns, tasers, maybe that's now coming into play, which I could take back as technically, but for a long time it was just like fists or knives or perhaps a hammer or something, or a sword, but it wasn't like a gun or a big fucking axe, or you know, it wasn't something like a flamethrower or a taser like this guy's got, or the other one of them have it anyway, or had it. So I think that's my only fault. Hey, more enemies, more XP. Or skill points.
Really, guys?
You also have the same, like, dialogue after you fight these small-time crooks. Really, guys? Or you're a waste of my time, or something like that. Which, like I say, you know, I'm not trying to be critical because there's so much more that is right about this game than there is wrong. I'm just being critical because, you know, that's what I'm getting the best out of the game, you know. And if I was really that much of a, like, quote-unquote critic, or someone that was trying to make the game look bad, then I would be more negative than I would be positive about it. But I'm just picking out little bits, you know. Can we not pick up that gun? Say for example, that guy had a big fucking... He's got a katana. Which would have been good at the start of the game. But, as I say, I do appreciate that I am on a... There's like 4 modes to this game. You know, you've got very, very easy. You've got easy, you've got normal, and you've got hard. Now with the battles, I think I would be able to do normal to hard. But the reason I picked easy, not very easy, so the second one, is because when it comes to like lockpicking, or when you're chasing after an enemy, or when you were doing the VR mode where you have to pass it, it would have been more difficult for, say, the stealth side of it, because I fucking can't do stealth to save my life. And many times, if it was realistic, you have a gun. Ah, mate, I really wish I would have knew that. So I would have probably gone for you first. Quite a tough enemy, this one. Fair play. Quite a tough enemy. So I might have spoke too soon here, but this is what I like to get into. What are you meant to do though when they're shooting you in the face? How are you meant to avoid that? apart from when you do the combos or, you know, when you're doing these. Because in real life, you're obviously going to die to the gun, aren't you? Can't be doing, you know, dodging bullets after bullets after bullets. Okay, so... see what we've got here. EX Flying Blow Sky Dancer. So from the air, crush the enemy with every last ounce of your body weight. Only activates during EX boost. Changes slightly with the number of enemies. Press triangle while in mid-air during EX boost. Prime example though, you know, that section there where you get to fix up your skills and shit.
For real?
Let's take out the purple one first. Okay, now it's kind of stuck in a loop, mate, where you're just getting beaten the shit out of. Well,
Really, guys?
did a lot better in that battle than we did the one before. Nice. Okay, we've made it to the
This must be the construction site.
construction site. Couldn't think of the word then. I was going to call it a scaffolding site, but I know it's not called that.
This is Tsukamo. Yagami Sheep, I've confirmed your position.
Yeah. I think I can spot whoever comes close from here. I'm gonna call Kawana on the burner now.
Understood. It's Kawana.
You ready? I'm about to call Reiko Kusamoto. Once you're connected, I'll take it from there.
It's been 5 years since I last spoke to her.
Yeah. Can't imagine this won't be awkward.
I know. Okay, do it.
Imagine if he wakes up now. Now that would be crazy shit. It'd be awesome as well. So this is Reiko Kusamoto.
Yes, hello?
This is Kitakata from Kurakawa Academy.
What?
You'll have to forgive me for this, but the position I'm in required me to reach out to you. I would never have done this otherwise. I should also note, there's a high probability this phone call is being tapped.
I see. Very well, then.
It's been 13 years, Kusamoto-san.
So it has.
Kitakata-sensei. I've read about your accomplishments. To think you'd become a vice minister.
You never really know how things are going to work out.
But that's not true at all, Kusamoto-san. You were always destined to move up in the world. I've got to be honest with you. A woman as virtuous and as capable as you deserves the world and then some.
But how is Mitsuru-kun?
I'm afraid he's still asleep. Nothing's changed.
I see. I wish I had the words.
What is it you wanted?
If you've been watching the news, you've probably already heard. I've become a prime suspect for a crime. They think I murdered Yokosawa in her apartment.
I've heard.
Obviously, it wasn't me who killed her, of course. Do you happen to remember Sawa-kun by any chance?
The girl from your class. She was the only one of those students who ever came to visit Mitsuru. But even then, that's been at least 10 years now. I got a letter from her once. She wanted to tell me she'd become a teacher. But I never did reply. That was the last I'd heard from her.
I see.
So back to my question. What do you want?
I hope you weren't planning to ask me for a favor. I'm afraid the answer would be no.
No, it's not that. It's just... I wanted to let you know that at some point, someone may come to you to ask a few questions about me. I thought I should give you a heads up. I'll make every effort to ensure they won't cause any trouble for you, Kusumoto-san. I'm sorry about this. I'll try to handle it from my side.
So in your opinion then, do you believe anything related to you could cause me any trouble?
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll be just fine.
We're almost to the signal. Kill the headlights.
2 cars inbound. Looks like we were right on the money. This proves Reiko Kusumoto's phone is compromised. And if there's one organization capable of tracing a call and moving on it, it's gotta be public security on the hunt for Kawana.
Public security is really coming straight to you by car?
No. There's no way they can mobilize their people that quickly. My guess? It's gotta be the prefectural police that they've got in their pocket. Or it's just RK.
I will say it's been great to hear your voice again. But this should be the last time you ever hear from me. I'll try my best.
I understand. Goodbye.
Guessing we're gonna have to go in stealth mode or battle mode.
Hey, look. It's a drone. It has a phone attached to it. Shoot it. Shoot it down.
You sure?
Just take it down. Hurry it up. Hey, what the fuck are you aiming at?
I can't hit it. It's too small. Shit.
Damn, dude. How the hell are we supposed to chase down a drone? And where the fuck is this Kawana guy?
Who knows, man? They called us in to catch this shithead, but how the hell are we supposed to do that? It's fucked up. Do we look like spec ops?
Yeah, right. But at least you gotta shoot that thing.
This is my second time, actually. I took a few shots at some kids in a park. I aimed at the ground and sent those little shits running for their lives.
We're done here. Pack it in.
Solid, mate. Absolute solid. Solid guy.
That's 6 punks and only 1 gun between you by my count.
Who the fuck are you?
It was you guys in charge. I'm sure Kawana would have had this whole thing solved a long time ago. Well, then again, I suppose I do have to give you credit for how fast you made it here.
That was my gun, asshole!
Who's the one giving the orders? You may as well just level with me. You guys are RK's bottom rung, right?
Sounds like you must know Kawana. Well, I guess we're not gonna be leaving here empty-handed after all. Come on! We're taking this guy in, boys! Fuck him up!
I love it how they always underestimate Yagami, man, in this. Right, weapon time.
sent you here?
The order came from the head honchos in RK.
You mean Soma?
Not that high up. It was one of the bosses. There's a bunch of them.
What did they tell you to do once you found Kuwana?
They just said to catch him. Well, they also made it very clear not to kill him. Like we'd pulled the trigger. We never even heard what our cut was.
Just another useless grunt. Tell me, gentlemen, how would you feel if you found out you were just pawns in public security's game?
We're playing what game now?
I suggest you quit RK while you can. Go tell your buddies, get them out too. Otherwise, they'll keep you in the dark, use you and toss you aside. And then, you'll end up in a ditch there's no crawling out of.
Very good piece of advice, that, matey. Very good piece of advice.
Yes?
It's going to be Soma. Maybe not.
You would be Reiko Kusumoto, correct?
Sir, it's a little late for this. And how'd you get in here in the first place? I've expressly forbid having visitors.
Calm down. I'm a coordinator with the National Police Bureau, but I'm sure you're familiar with my division of public security. Bonder was my name, ma'am.
Are you now? Well, I'm afraid coordinator is rather vague.
I have a more public-facing title as well, of course. But I'm trying to be discreet here, so let's not get bogged down with minor details. It's in our best interests. I'm afraid that won't happen. I've already seen to that.
What is this?
It's a question I need answered with some urgency, Kusumoto-san. It concerns the disappearance of a certain individual.
Huh.
About 5 years ago, a man vanished off the streets of Kamurocho. I'm sure you'll recognize him. A former classmate of Mitsuru here, Shinya Kawai. I believe there are things you might know. I can say that with some level of certainty, as a matter of fact.
Chapter 10 has been completed, man. Right, we are on chapter 11.
A shadow looms over Yagami and Kuwana. Japan's National Intelligence Agency, Public Security, fixes its gaze on Reiko Kusumoto of the Ministry of Health. 5 years ago, Kuwana prompted her to take revenge on Shinya Kawai for pushing her son to the brink. Secrets can only lie dormant so long, and upon their waking, chaos ensues.
Chapter 11, Undercover. A few days later.
Done it again, Tsukumo. Can't believe you found it.
I figured Mitsuru Kusumoto would be in one of the better hospitals around the health ministry. That narrowed it down to just a few locations. Then I pinpointed the exact one through sheer determination.
And that led you to Toto University Hospital. So Mitsuru is still lying in a coma there?
Yep. Reiko Kusumoto has been visiting her son every night for the past 13 years. Even after she became vice minister. If you gentlemen want to meet her in person, that would be your best chance.
Yagami, you seriously think you can convince Reiko Kusumoto to turn herself in?
Well, try at least.
She's at the top of the food chain. If it comes out that she committed murder, the whole country's gonna lose it. If they hadn't tried to hide it, nobody else would have needed to pay for it. Sawa-sensei.
Yeah. You're right.
And if she confesses to killing Kawhi, public security will run out of reasons to keep defending Arcade. So in theory, that should free up the police to pursue Soma about Sawa-sensei.
Totally agree with you there.
But Kawana-san's against that, right? Didn't he say he wouldn't let her turn herself in?
Yeah. That's why he's not in the loop on this.
So, you're just gonna show up? You do know she's probably surrounded by public security at all times, don't you?
Just means we gotta be prepared for that. Like the professional detectives we are.
Prepared? How?
Just leave it to us. Yagami-san, I gotta go get ready. Let's meet at Toto University Hospital.
Got it.
See ya.
So what do you need from me in this, Yagami?
Got any old acquaintances in RK? Think you can find out where Soma and Akutsu are?
You forget who you're talking to? Why wouldn't I be able to cover that? I knew a few ex-Tojo guys who go in and out of RK on the regular.
Thanks. Watch your back. If they find out you're spying on them, they won't like it.
I'll be ready. Like the professional ex-Yakuza I am. See ya.
He's rough around the edges, but in the end he comes through.
Yeah. Turns out he's got extra time on his hands.
Why don't you hire him at your office, Yagami-shi?
I'll talk about that with Kaito-san once he recovers. Anyway, sorry Tsukumo. We have to take Sugiura from you again.
Why start apologizing now? It's all good. We'll talk again soon.
I should head to Toto University Hospital and convince Reiko Kusumoto to turn herself in. Okay. Alright. So straight to the skills section. Let's increase some snake. EX Sword Cyclone. Attack while destroying the enemy's two-handed bladed weapon. Cannot break weapons from powerful enemies. Press triangle while an enemy attacks with a sword.
What are you? Don't worry. I'll give it back to you after this. I'm sure it's bugged, and we wouldn't want anyone listening in now, would we?
Oh, they robbed the taxi, man. I wish I could have done that. Like a mission.
We'll take a few laps around the block, and then drop you back off at the hospital. Sorry, but we just need a bit of your time.
Very well. Who are you people?
We're just local detectives. Kitakata-sensei is an acquaintance of ours. We know about Mitsuru-kun, and we know that 5 years ago, a man named Shinya Kawai mysteriously disappeared and died.
I have no idea what you're saying.
But you do. I know how this must come across right now, so I assure you, we aren't the ones posing the threat.
Fine. What is it you want, then?
All I want is the truth. In your own words. About Shinya Kawai, and how you carried out his murder.
1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Sorry guys, I had to just sort something out. Right, let's go.
You're mistaken. I didn't do it.
The other day you received a call from Kitakata-sensei, didn't you? He goes by the name Koana now, and works as a handyman in the Jinsho. You made that call because we needed to confirm something.
Confirm what?
Whether or not you were being watched by public security.
Public security, you say?
Is she surprised at all, or maybe she already had a hunch?
As it turns out, you are. Your cell phone is bugged. It can even use GPS to trace who's on the other end of the line. That kind of trace is only possible with cooperation from the cellular providers. Unless you're public security, you could pull something like that off in secret. They want to hit you where you're vulnerable. And that's what you are now after Koana. Do you understand, Kusamoto-san? You must really be something special. You were never in this job for yourself. It fell into your lap as your predecessors fell like dominoes. That's why you don't owe anyone anything. You're free of constraints. And Mitsuru-kun's tragedy even gained you public sympathy on top of it. Combine all that with a capable bureaucrat like you, there's no telling what you could accomplish. You're cleaning up house, tackling the revolving door problems. Things you know are the right moves, but with no regard for the consequences. I understand even the cabinet gauges your opinion, since you have so much public support. But I think that's also made you some enemies. Most likely whoever's holding public security's leash.
I have more than a few enemies. I'm well aware of that. And I have no doubt public security would comply with them. To be quite frank, public security only exists to maintain the status quo. The establishment is made up of various powers which control politics and finance. But naturally, each branch has its own agendas, goals, ideas of justice, which leads to all sorts of issues and hindrances, which you call constraints. The more individuals who make up society, the more unavoidable that is.
Are you implying it's public security's job to loosen those constraints?
There's more to it than that. The world we live in requires all kinds of value systems to coexist, even in chaos. But if you loosen the constraints too far, the fall of the state is inevitable. In that regard, public security's role is to stabilize and maintain the state, even while bound by constraints. In other words, the constraints of these powers are precisely what are protected by public security. So the fact that I am not caught up in all that does, indeed, make me something of a pesky foreign object.
Pesky foreign object. I see. So to these establishment people, you're something to be excised.
Hmm? I guess there's bullying among adults in high places, too.
Yeah. Now we know why they were looking for any kind of weakness in you. And that's when they turned the spotlight on Shinya Kawai's disappearance. It's triggered by Akihiro Ihara's case. You know the one, I presume.
Yes.
An active-duty policeman exacted revenge on the bully who drove his son to suicide. Your enemies must have heard that and thought to themselves, what would Reiko Kusamoto have done to her son's bully? I'm guessing that's what prompted public security to make their move. As the details of Ihara's case came to light, a group of thugs calling themselves RK started looking for Shinya Kawai. All to find out that he was kidnapped 5 years ago, probably killed.
I never did anything out of revenge.
Naturally, she wasn't going to divulge any secrets, having just met me, and I don't have enough evidence to make it talk.
Even after finding out Kawai disappeared, public security still had to verify it. But if they found out you were involved, that'd be a win for them. They finally know Reiko Kusamoto's weakness.
How long are you going to keep talking?
As public security figured out, the bullying cases involving Toshiro Ihara and your son share a common link. That link being Sawa-sensei. She was Mitsuru-kun's classmate and Toshiro Ihara's teacher. Not only that, she was also linked to Ihara's murder victim, Ikoshiba. She was his master teacher. So, not long after the murder, RK came to Ijincho and broke into her home. That must have been when they got Kawana's name out of her. I think Sawa-sensei suspected that Kawana was involved in Ikoshiba's murder. Then Soma steps in, with his professional interrogation skills, to beat and scare her into spilling everything. Kusamoto-san, you knew she was killed, right? Kawana should have told you over the phone.
Wait, are you not one of his colleagues? He said he wouldn't cause me any trouble, and that he would never call me again.
Kawana and I are competitors on a temporary ceasefire. We're not colleagues.
She's been flustered since I mentioned Sawa-sensei's name. This is my chance to ask her questions I can't ask anyone else. Let's be nice first, and obviously we want to know.
How's your son doing now?
He could wake up any minute now. Of course, that's been true for the last 13 years.
I see.
We transferred him to Toto University Hospital just this year, hoping they could spur his recovery. But it turns out they don't do anything much different from the previous hospital. All I can do is wait.
Has anybody from public security contacted you? Have you been approached by any strangers?
I have my suspicions.
What are their names? I imagine what they wanted was to exploit your weakness to control you. Because if all they wanted was to eliminate you, some kind of accident would be easily arranged.
Yes. I suppose you're right.
Do you have any idea what these people are after? Do you mind sharing?
What they want is control of the pension fund, which is under the Health Ministry's jurisdiction.
Pension fund?
An independent agency within the ministry manages the National Pension Fund. It's taxpayer funded, and it's worth 160 trillion yen.
What?
And certain groups want to take bigger risks with that money in order to generate more profit. In other words, they want the health ministry to use taxpayer money to gamble. They believe that's the only way to rebuild Japan's faltering economy and secure the future of this country.
I mean, would it work?
Of course, if the gamble actually pays off. But if we lost the gamble, then we wouldn't be able to guarantee anything for the citizens of this country in their golden years. That's why the health ministry manages those funds conservatively, even if it means the returns are lower.
Okay. I'm starting to understand now.
You do? Don't leave me in the dust, Yagami-san.
To be able to gamble all this taxpayer money to save the economy, they need a change of management. And here's Kusamoto-san, head of the office. And she's beyond the control of even the ministers. Her position has the power to take action, to override the way the pension fund is managed. But not only does Kusamoto-san have the power, she has the support of the people. If a new vice minister were to try it, they'd be stopped cold by the constraints.
So that's why they wanted to find her weakness and exploit it?
Exactly. And if the 160 trillion yen gamble were to fail, they'd blame the whole thing on Kusamoto-san anyway.
Okay. Wow. 160 trillion.
I'm guessing they've already contacted you about it?
That's an assumption.
I have to ask you about Shinya Kawai. You killed him 5 years ago. With your own hands, didn't you? I understand what your feelings must be towards Kawai, but was that really the only answer?
If you've spoken to Kitakata-sensei, then you must know about the video of how Mitsuru was treated.
I do.
Aside from Kawai, the other students pretended like nothing happened. They took no responsibility. They put on their sad faces, and they came to visit Mitsuru at the hospital. But looking back on it now, I don't think they really wanted Mitsuru to wake up. In fact, that's what they were checking off. And what did I do? I bowed my head and thanked them. It was only later that Kitakata-sensei showed me the video. That's when I knew that those kids going unpunished was wrong.
And your solution was to pull them into the quagmire? Make them accomplices in murdering Kawai?
If you already know so much, what more do you need to ask?
I get it now. Let me reiterate. We are not your enemy.
Then please, let me go.
Anything you want me to tell Kawana?
I do. He needs to run. Far away. Public security has their sights on him. His capture is not a question of if, but when. He's in danger if he remains in the country. And once public security has him, they will extract everything he knows.
You mean he'd be tortured?
Yes. Somewhere well beyond the public eye. No one can withstand what they do. He'd tell them everything. And as for me...
They would expose your vulnerability, making you their pawn.
Most likely. They'd gamble away the taxpayers' money, and I'd never purge the corruption in the health ministry.
I get that. What does it matter?
What?
Because in my opinion, you need to turn yourself in, Kusumoto-san.
You want me to admit to manslaughter? You think I killed a real man? I say he was less than one.
I'm with her on this again.
He was little more than a subhuman brute.
Yeah.
And you saw it. You saw what that brute did to my son.
Exactly.
I hated Kitakata-sensei. He was an incompetent teacher. An idiot who turned a blind eye to Mitsuru being tortured. But that changed when he suddenly showed up 8 years later. And then he showed me that video. He said, every bully in that video, they deserved to be punished.
Fantastic.
It was the only way to get closure.
Yeah.
You took him up on it? But you of all people should have known better.
True.
Nope.
You're right about that. I struggled with it quite a bit. It's an unconscionable act, no matter how deep your animosity runs. But Kitakata-sensei's words hung on. I couldn't get them out of my head. I saw for myself. I went to Kamurocho where I'd heard Kawai was working, at a girls' bar. So you know, after Mitsuru jumped that day, Kawai came to me in tears to apologize. I hadn't seen him in all that time. If he'd frozen in place when he saw me, if he'd been the slightest bit apologetic, I might have been able to stay my hand.
I take it he didn't do any of that.
Right. He didn't even recognize my face. And that's hardly the worst part of it, actually. When he saw me, he took me for some bawdy cougar on the prowl for young men. If you've got the cash, I'll show you a good time, he said. All those tears he'd shed years earlier were a farce. But I knew that. Deep down, I'd already known that.
Don't blame her.
That was the moment I lost all doubt about killing him.
Yeah.
And as for those other kids who bullied Mitsuru, they should thank me they didn't share his fate. But that's why I don't feel like I have any sins to atone for. Every night I pray he will wake up. What more can you ask me to endure?
Exactly.
I said something similar. But you think you can repeat all that? This time say it to her.
Wasn't her problem.
Sawa-san?
As I said in the last stream, it is not. Her death isn't the fault of what she's done. The domino effect happens to everyone. Yagami, mate. And as I said, the very rare crimes that I would accept is when it's revenge like this. But mate, like I said, I've got to play the game out. I've got to be the good cop, or not good cop, detective, you know, the pure-hearted Yagami-san that never does anything wrong. But, as I said, at the end of the day, I see her point of view, I see Kawana's point of view, and if it was me, fuck it. If it was me, I would be turning a blind eye to it. And if I get backlash on that, I get backlash on that. But I'd be turning a blind eye to it. You know, goes around slaying bullies who bully people. You know, they put that on themselves, bullying people. If you didn't bully people, then you wouldn't have that problem, would you? It would get rid of all the bullies, it'd make people happier, people would actually get to a point where they'd be scared of bullying people in case it happens to them. You know, she did it because her son, and like she said, Kawhi seen her as some kind of slag on the side of a road somewhere, or in the street somewhere, with Kawana, you know, he's getting revenge on them bullies. Even with Ahara, you know, in his circumstance, the only reason she's not being put in is because she's a health ministry, or she's a health minister, or she's high up. Do you know what I mean? While Ahara's lower down, so obviously they're gonna throw the key away, aren't they? But again, it's a decision from the higher ups, mate. You know, a groping case. You know, I call it karma personally, and like I said, we're gonna go ahead with it, and we're gonna have to complete the storyline as Yagami to get them the justice and shit, and keep blaming it on Sawa Sensei and shit. RK are the ones who killed Sawa Sensei. Soma is the one who killed Sawa Sensei. Don't blame her. Don't blame Ahara. Don't blame Kitakata, Yuri Kitakata. Blame Soma. Blame RK. Blame the gangs, man. You know, that's who you should be blaming. Either they've got a reason to do it for whatever reason they've got. I haven't heard RK's reason and why they're doing the stuff that they're doing at the minute. Maybe because they're being hired by public security. But they're fucking thugs. They're doing it for the sake of money. Hired assassin, basically. That is who you blame. Not people like this, who are just going to get revenge on people for the good reason, but not doing the right reason, not doing the right thing. You know, it happens, man. And Yagami, I've agreed with him up until the point where he is kind of saying, oh well, because you did this, think of Sawa Sensei. Think of Sawa Sensei getting into a fight with Kawana in that area before. He's fucking childish, man, this Yagami, bro. Let this one slip, man. But he's not going to, because, you know, that's the storyline. But come on, if your fucking family member did something, you're not gonna just sit there, are you, and be like, oh yeah, well, I'll let that haunt me for the rest of my life. You take action. It happens, man. And this guy Yagami, oh well, yeah, I have a fucking lawyer's degree, I have a detective agency degree, I have a fucking lawyer's badge, or what, that circle thing. Mate, I'm sure you have done things, which you did actually, if I remember. You failed that woman in the first Judgement game. You know, you let her die, basically. The same way that you promised Sawa Sensei you would look after her, and she died. And instead of blaming yourself for being displacent, and, you know, okay, he was kind of kidnapped and he was in a place where he was caught between two places. Either he was saving Kawana or he was saving Sawa Sensei. But mate, accept it when these people are doing the things they've done. That's all I'm going to say on it.
You and Kawana can congratulate yourselves. You got vengeance on a monster. But what you're choosing not to see is that your actions have consequences for her.
Bullshit. Bullshit. I've said all this.
I've seen this before. Justice for one at the cost of another. Someone innocent always pays the price.
Bullshit.
I won't just sit here and watch as history tries to repeat itself. This phone isn't being traced by anyone. So, if you have a change of heart, just give me a call before you turn yourself in.
Domino effect bullshit, man.
That's all I had to say. We're back.
Yagami's way in the wrong with this.
Right here okay, Yagami-san?
Yeah. I'm gonna go talk to Kawana. Need to tell him I met with Reiko Kusamoto.
He's gonna be pissed, you know? He's gonna try to rip you a new one.
That's true. So you might want to sit this one out.
You sure? 'Cause I'll totally take you up on that.
Yagami, matey. Wait until you have a son or daughter. Either you're a detective or a lawyer, your gold shining fucking badge won't stop you from doing something you regret if your kid or someone close to you ends up dying, mate. That's all I'm gonna say.
You morons. What a waste.
Oh, squirrel thing. I found some squirrel graffiti.
What could this mean? Good boy. Who's a good boy? There you are. Good dog. Very good dog.
Hey, we found a play pass, mate. That's 1 out of 5 to collect. Good job.
For real?
Well, look who we have here. Haven't seen your mug in a while.
It's only been 2 or 3 days. Where's Koana?
How should I put this? Would you freak out if he was right behind you?
You know, this kind of shit is why you get on my nerves.
Couldn't we have done this by phone?
I just came from seeing Reiko Kusamoto. I told her to turn herself in for murdering Kawhi 5 years ago.
You what?
What did she have to say about that?
That she had no sins to atone for.
Of course not. Look, what do you think you're doing? Her part in this is done. Don't drag her back into it.
This isn't yours to finish. You would just let Sawa-sensei stay collateral damage. How do you think her folks feel? They probably think you killed their daughter. They don't know why, or if justice will be served. Do they have to suffer
Yagami, shut the fuck up,
all
bro.
without even knowing the truth? Would Sawa-sensei want that? You talk about justice, but she keeps getting left out. You aren't even trying when it comes to her.
Such a gimp sometimes.
If you cause Kusamoto-san any more pain, I will never forgive you.
That's exactly why I didn't tell you I was going to meet her.
Listen, Yagami. She hides it well, but she's never gotten over the fact Mitsuru tried to jump to his death. And she's not sure how to feel about killing Kawhi. Unlike me.
If she was anything like you, I would have pushed her harder to confess.
There's no evidence that she killed Kawhi. He simply vanished from Kamurocho, and the police didn't even know about it. Besides, there's no case without a corpse. Point being, she'll never be charged.
Right, Koana has Kawhi's body hidden somewhere. I remember Yui Mamiya said so. So what you're gonna do, push him into telling you?
Even if she did turn herself in, the police wouldn't know what to do with her.
Don't think for a second that you're getting a pass here. You've killed, what, 7 people now? Do you even hesitate anymore?
You got proof? Running around making baseless accusations? You sure you were a real fucking lawyer?
My colleagues in Kamurocho are getting ready to appeal Ahara's case. Your actions are going to be put under a microscope.
I wouldn't even call that bad news. I want the world to know their bullies are getting what they're due. And by then, I'll probably be going by a different name, maybe even a different look.
You're just going to keep doing this? Did Sawa-sensei sacrifice mean nothing to you?
Is that the only thing keeping you around? Truth be told, I don't think exposing everything is even in Sawa's best interest.
What?
Sawa-kun herself felt guilty. I just sent you the proof.
What is this? An audio file?
After Ahara-san lost in court, she called me. I recorded our conversation.
Toshiro-kun came running to the roof. His face was pretty swollen. And a few minutes later, a student named Mikoshiba came up looking for him. I'll never forget the fear I saw in Toshiro-kun's face. He told me about everything. The teasing, the beatings, the theft. How nobody was on his side. And yet, I had to deny all this in front of an entire courtroom. They said there was no hope, that I was the only witness with no proof whatsoever. Believe me, I never wanted to do that.
Sawa-kun's testimony in court was false, and she was racked with guilt over it.
And your first thought was to record it? When she was at her most vulnerable?
Yes. And then I played it for Ahara-san. He had the right to know the real reason his son killed himself.
All you did was light the fires of vengeance in Ahara's heart because you didn't want to be alone.
You know, I've heard that bullying is almost instinctive. That's why people who do it never stop. I mean, think about it. Would you stop cleaning a toilet just because it'll get filthy again? Somebody's always got to get his hands dirty.
He makes a
That
good point.
somebody's gonna be you?
Makes a good
If
point
it
though,
means I
doesn't
can
it?
prevent another Mitsuru Kusumoto, yes, I will keep killing. These bastards who prey on the defenseless must be punished for all to see. I wish the law would do its job. Because deep down, I don't want to do any of this.
I believe him.
I understand what you're saying, but you're taking it too far. Just
He's not taking it too far. You're just a gimpless person that, oh look at me, I'm Yagami-san. I never do anything wrong. Oh my god.
stop, Kawana.
Just shut the fuck up, dude.
If you really
And
want
let him
to
do
stop
what he
me,
wants to
you're
do.
gonna have to kill me and call it justice.
I'm glad this guy.
I thought you guys were gonna start another fight. It was a bitch cleaning up the mess last time.
He even walked away this
I go up
time.
against him,
He even walked away this time. And yet Yagami's still being a bitch. You know. As I said, I think Yoi Katakata, I keep forgetting his alibi name. Kasune, not Kasune, it's not Kasune, is it? I don't know. Anyway, I'm for him killing all these bullies, man. Because like I said, bullies, less bullies equals more fear, equals no bullies, equals happy life. You know? And if it's always gonna be a bully, and there's always gonna be a bully, then he's gonna be dealt with, or she's gonna be dealt with. Do you know what I mean? I call it karma. And this guy's hell bent on saying, well, it's because of Sawi Sensei. It's a domino effect. I can't agree with this. I need to make sure you're dealt with. Mate, I really hope Yagami-san. I know it's not because he's a main character in this game, but if there could be a way where you could rip his tongue out or something, then it would be great. It would be fantastic. So that he never speaks again. Deals with the, you know, the gangs and the RK and all them fucking bellends, but he realises what people's priorities are, and it lets some things slip, man.
it won't be just a few scratches.
It won't be just a few scratches.
When that time comes, take it anywhere but here.
He needs to be beating the shit out of this guy to realise, but even then, he's just screwed, man. I agreed on everything with him in Judgment 1. In Judgment 2, up until the whole finding out that, you know, he was killing bullies and, you know, that the Ministry of Health killed someone because the bully killed, you know, was the cause of a son's, well, he's not dead, but he's in a coma. And then this Mitsushiba guy, you know, I think it was a bit gruesome and it shouldn't have been posted online what was done to him. I think that was took a bit too far. But in a back alley somewhere, they were sorted out because of what they've done. I think I'll call it a day. I should get back to 99 and rest up. New info has been added to your case file. The missing teacher's murder evidence updated. We got a recorded call with Sawa Sensei. A recording of a conversation between Sawa Sensei and Kawana. Kawana was his name. That look placed right after Akihiro Ihara lost his court case against Serio High. In the call, Sawa Sensei admits she had been forced to claim that there was no bullying, despite having personally spoken with Toshiro Ihara about his bullying situation. Okay. Just FYI guys, I did find out some more information. Let's just, hang on, let's just do this first. So we got projectile counter, blue flame. Projectile counter automatically activates while in EX boost, always active during EX boost. So I did kind of look into some side missions and how and why they weren't coming up. And as far as I know, I basically need to one big huge amount of side missions are all under one thing, and in order for me to do that, there's about 6 or 7 side missions, and I think I need to scan a woman's phone, and then the rest is whatever it leads it to. And then there's another one about some bar called a girls bar. Need to get a connection between this person and then find out more information. But either way, we're gonna find that out.
Really, guys? You wish you had...
There's a gunner. Thought there was someone using a gun there. Right. Time to exit this. Wonder if the squirrel graffiti might be down here, no? Okay. So we're looking for... Let me just look for this side mission to see if we can do it right now. We've done the Paradise VR unlocked. Let's look at our case files for now. So we're looking for the invisible burglar, apparently. Okay, we're gonna go for this one. Gonna go to Camarocho. Right, receive the word stalker keyword. Stalker keyword. Now let's look at posts. Alright, we're gonna go for this, just out of curiosity. This is a restaurant, apparently. We're just going... No, we can't go inside of it. I want to see if there's any squirrel graffiti while we are looking round.
haste. And stay down.
Well, he's gonna be another one beaten up, isn't he? That's the key word we're looking at. Good stuff. There's just a guy watching a building all day, and another post claims he's pretty high up there. Now that's a hardcore stakeout, even assuming he's got food. I thought he might be a detective, but a detective wouldn't be so blatant. Alright. We have finally got a side mission.
Excuse me.
ありがとうございました。
Very nice. Okay, we can't do that move. That's fair.
Really, guys?
Well, that's convenient, isn't it? Not today, pal. Not today. Right, we haven't. Let's upgrade some special because we haven't done that in a long time. So blame shifter, you can still patronise a shop even after wrecking it in a fight. Adds the corresponding ability. Perfect. Right. So every time I've passed that point, about last 3 or 4 times now, I've been down this way. This guy always deliberately backs into me.
Wish you hadn't.
Okay. Okay. Hey, what's that guy doing? Maybe he's the alleged stalker.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, sir, what are you doing there? Ah, you the police? No, I'm not the police. I'm here because people are talking about you on chatter. Talking about me on chatter. What's going on? Sir, could you please come down so we can talk? If you're not the police, who are you? This is who I am. You're a detective.
Yep.
There were rumours about a stalker all over social media, so I thought maybe there was something going down. They thought I was a stalker. Oh boy. Well, what have you been doing there all day? I'm the owner of that building over there. My name's Douchi Kiba.
Huh.
Do you have any proof that you own that building? Sure, right here. That's me on the home page. See.
I see.
Yeah, okay. So you were what? Monitoring the building that you yourself own? Why? Security cameras do the same thing, don't they? Well, it's a little complicated, but it seems someone's been breaking into our building. An invisible burglar at that. An invisible burglar? What the hell? I gotta ask more about that. Kiba-san, I'm a detective, so I may be able to help you. If you tell me a little more about this invisible burglar you're trying to catch. I don't know, isn't it pricey to hire a detective? I can't pay you much.
No.
Don't worry, I won't charge you. I'm curious enough about this to do it pro bono. But if I do solve the case, why don't you consider hiring us in the future? Okay? Sounds like a good offer to me. Deal. Now I should ask Kiba-san for more details about the case. About the break-ins. Like I said, that's my building, and one of my tenants is a firm that's renting out a whole floor. And there's been a series of burglaries there.
Oh.
What was stolen specifically? Money in the safe was just slowly dwindling, plus the employees' wallets were disappearing. Hell, even snacks in the fridge were getting mysteriously eaten.
Huh.
So a variety of things have been stolen over time. That's strange. Any idea on who the suspect is? Well, the CEO of the firm is convinced it's someone on the outside. He doesn't seem to like the idea it could be one of his employees. Of course, that's understandable. Reason for monitoring the building. Just use cameras, man. Or you're under a budget. I see why the tenant's so concerned, but you're going above and beyond by watching for the burglar yourself. It's because I personally guarantee the building security for my tenants. And now that there have been multiple break-ins, I've been getting all these complaints.
In other words...
Ah, so you want to catch the suspect yourself, and you're willing to watch your building from morning till night to do it. Well, actually, I just started this morning. I can't believe word got around so fast. The building security. Still think it was a good idea to guarantee the security of the place. Of course, I mean, if anyone had tried to break in, the security system would have been tripped. I've got security cameras in the hallways, all that stuff, but there's never been any stranger in the footage. Now that makes more sense why he's doing what he's doing then. But still, wouldn't you ask them to put cameras on the outer buildings then?
Does that
or
mean...
would you need a permit for that, you reckon? If that's the case, maybe it is someone on the inside. Perhaps. But there was this one incident where the employees were in a meeting and every single one of their wallets was stolen. If it were an inside job, why would everyone's wallets be stolen? It sounds strange at first, but the thief could have taken his own wallet to avoid being suspected. That's true, but apparently they checked everybody's bags right after the theft. Nobody had stolen the wallets. Nobody had the stolen wallets. Any possibility they were carried out before the bag check? I don't think so. The security camera in the halls would have caught any employee who was carrying out wallets. In fact, nobody's in the security footage from the time of the theft to the time of the bag check. And they looked around the entire floor but couldn't find the wallets.
I see.
I see. So the possibility the thief was an employee is pretty low. And that's why you're thinking the perp is somehow invisible, because nobody showed up on camera. Yes, I know how ridiculous it sounds.
Excuse me.
Do you mind if I look around the floor myself, Kiba-san? Look around. Do you think it would help you find the thief?
Yep.
Sure. Or at the very least it'd be useful in some way. Very well. Let me ask the tenant. We got the green light. They want you to conduct an investigation. Glad to hear it. Let me know whenever you're ready. I'll take you to the floor in question. Can you take me there now? Absolutely. Please follow me. So, Sakurazaka-san, thank you for allowing us to investigate. You're gonna find who the burglar is, right? Yes, Takayuki Yagami-san is a great detective. He's going to solve our mystery. Oh ho, great detective, you say? I certainly will do my best. Please feel free to do what you need to do for the investigation. I had the employees going on break. Thank you. Can I ask what this company's business is? Consumer credit. I think there was a different firm here before. Are they a new tenant? That must mean you have a lot of cash on site. Yes, I'm sure that's what the burglar is after. In fact, money's been stolen from our safe a few times already.
What does that mean?
But I presume that the safe is locked and kept secure. Of course, no one outside the company would be able to open it. But supposedly it wasn't an inside job. The mystery deepens.
Excuse me.
Could you tell me more about precisely when the burglar strikes? It happens late at night after operating hours or very early morning, except when the floor is mostly empty because the employees are in a meeting. Where's your conference room? We rent one out since our office is tiny. It's in the building next door. Interesting. So the burglar attacks not just at night, but also during short amounts of time when the floor is effectively unoccupied. Yes, which is really strange because we lock all our doors and we even have security cameras at the entrances.
By the way,
do you have any security cameras in the work area? No, I did consider it, but in the end I decided against monitoring the employees.
I see.
I understand that. Well, let me look around the floor. I'll let you know if I find anything. Please do. Thank you so much. Yeah, give me on the case when he isn't being a hasty bitch. An invisible burglar, eh? Okay, let's look at every nook and cranny on this floor and report to Sakurazaka-san with any conclusion I can make. My detective gadgets might come in handy.
What
the? You have a refrigerator. Yes, for the employees. Oh, that reminds me. Some of the employees get their food stolen too. I heard their snacks were eaten. Yes, like their pudding or ice cream cups, or even bento box leftovers. Guess the burglar works up an appetite while he's robbing the place. Something weird is going on. Oh shit, Sherlock. Alright.
There it is.
Huh? What's that noise? A mouse stomach growling? No, no way would a mouse stomach sound like that. Which means... What's that stain? I should give it a close look.
Suspicious.
It's a handprint. Wait, what's that? Handprints? Why would there be human handprints up there? Something the matter, Yagami-san? Sekurazaka-san, that's the inspection hatch for the ceiling, right? There looks to be handprints on it. What the... Well, that's kinda creepy. Mind if I open it? Not at all. Alright. There's gonna be someone above it. There's gonna be someone in there. Now then. Huh? It won't open. Maybe something's stuck in there. That's strange. It opened when a serviceman came here not too long ago. Is it the serviceman? That sound, I don't know if it's a mouse or a roach, but it's gotta be a huge one. Alright, bring out the dog maybe. No, we speak to this guy. Have you figured it out, Yagami-san? Not yet. Not completely. I think I need more time. I see. Do let us know if you learn anything. Alright, so... let's bring out the dog, I reckon. See if the dog does anything. No. Okay. Maybe not then. Let's try the noise amp.
Suspicious.
This looks like a solidly built safe. Yes, our security is top notch, but someone still manages to snatch money from it every now and then. Yes, it is puzzling. Who knows the passcode? A limited number of people like myself and my secretary. I can't imagine any one of them stealing. Okay.
What the? Hey.
Is this a bug bomb? It looks like the kind that produces smoke. Yeah, sadly we seem to have some in the attic, big ones too. I thought I could set it off when the employees weren't around, but I totally forgot about it. Obviously I'd have to stop company operations while it releases smoke. True, and these things produce a lot of it. I would like to use it soon though. We've just been so busy, it was never a good time. Yeah, roaches in the attic can be pretty annoying office mates. That's pretty loud, like from something really big. How could it be roaches? Because it's a fucking person, man. Like I said.
What the?
Food garbage, it looks like. What? Again? I've been telling everyone to put the trash in the trash cans. Again? So this happens often. It's been happening more often recently. It seems we have some untidy people. But you don't know exactly who. A katana. Oh, that's related to a hobby of mine. What is this? A Yakuza office. Is it real? You bet. It cost an arm and a leg at the pawn shop. So it's very expensive, and yet it wasn't stolen. Huh. Good point. I never even thought about that. It could easily be sold for good money at any pawn shop, so why wasn't it stolen? Yagami-san, have you finished looking around? I think so, and I think I have all the clues I need. Got 100,000 yen for doing that. I think I've got a good idea now. The food garbage on the floor, employees' leftovers and desserts being eaten, the ceiling hatch not opening for some reason, the strange sounds coming from the attic, the expensive katana that was never stolen. I think I know who the invisible burglar might be.
Excuse me.
Sakurazaka-san, Kiba-san, I know who the culprit is. Really? Wow, so who's our invisible burglar?
Yep.
The invisible burglar was... They're still up in the attic. The culprit is still up in the ceiling as we speak. Huh? Right now?
Yep.
Yes, just listen. Listen. What was that? That sound? I thought it was just a big cockroach.
No.
It's too big to be a roach. I think the burglar is living in your attic. The burglar lives here?
Yep.
Correct. That's why he had no need to go outside, and why he was never caught on camera. I'm betting he took the cash and the wallets up to the attic, and the only reason the expensive katana wasn't stolen was because he couldn't take it up. What do you mean?
If I have this right.
Well, it'd be hard to maneuver it through that tiny inspection hatch, and if the attic ceiling is low, it wouldn't even fit up there. Oh, yeah, I see that. I'm gonna guess the food went missing because the burglar came down whenever he got hungry. He's probably been using the toilet on the floor as well, just like any tenant. My goodness, so the burglar has just always been here, even as we were working. Yep, he must be one quiet fellow to avoid getting caught. As for who exactly it is, well, why don't we have him come out right now? Have him come out? How? I can think of a few ways. We might be able to use that. Roach exterminator. Let's use this to smoke him out. The bug bomb? Oh, I get it.
Yep.
Everyone's out of the office now anyway, so let's take out one giant cockroach. It says it's harmless to humans. I'm sure it won't kill him. Well, now I'm looking forward to how this turns out. Holy smokes. Damn it. Ah.
No way.
Just as we suspected, we smoked out a giant roach. Huh? Wait. You're Mita-kun, aren't you? Hi there, sir. You know each other? Yes, this is Gauro Mita. I asked him to leave the company about half a year ago.
Huh?
Leave the company so he used to work here. Mita-kun, I want an explanation. Why were you living in the attic? Because after I was fired, there was no way I could pay the rent, and I knew at my home I'd get hounded by the debt collector. Seriously?
Seriously?
You've been living up there all this time since you were let go. Yes, the night I was fired, I decided to stay and never leave the office. That way the debt collector can't find me. I can eat anything in the fridge, and I can stay warm thanks to the heater. I don't believe this, and there was never a need for you to break into this office because you just never went outside. That's why the security camera in the hallway never caught you, and why the alarm never went off. Why wouldn't he just steal the katana, jump out of the window, it's just like 2 foot, and then sell it on, pay off his debts, and get another job? Easy, mate, easy. Obviously he's going to get caught then as well, but make more sense than to the way he's done it. Well, of course, as great as our security system is, it can't do anything if there's no actual burglary.
Hey.
But you're also the one stealing wallets and taking money from the safe. You did know the passcode, didn't you?
Hey.
Hey, speaking of, where is the money? It's up in the attic. I couldn't take you out of here because I knew I'd be caught on the camera. Bring the money down now. I want to check if it's all here. Yes, sir. Did you count the money, Sakurazaka-san? Yep, it's all there. I found all the employees' wallets too. Glad to hear it.
By the way.
Now then, what next? Should we call the police? No. We got the money back, so we don't need to get the police involved. And the firing, it really was because of things the company did, not him. I actually have been feeling pretty bad about it. What? Alright, that's your decision, Sakurazaka-san. Thank you for not calling the cops, sir. And I'm sorry. Mita-kun, I had a reason for letting you go instead of someone else when times got tough here. I let you go because I was sure you could land another job. You're still young and full of potential. Full of potential, me, but all I did was make mistakes. Only because you carried the workload of 3 people. It was no wonder you made mistakes. You really think that? Yes, of course. That doesn't change the fact that you and the company have done selfish things. And it may upset you to hear this coming from the guy who fired you, but you can rebuild your life. I know you can. Yes, sir, I'll do my best.